What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Harry Potter Quidditch Champions yet again and deliver another one of my messages to, I guess, whoever wants to hear it. You guys, the viewer, Unbroken Studios, right? The developer. Look, I believe in this game. I want this game to do good, and I said it before. I said it in that video where, we were complaining about the bots and all that stuff, but I want the game to succeed. I look at this as kind of a rant and, message type video that might be different from somebody who just says, hey, this game is trash, like it's not worth your, right? I feel like there's a difference between me trying to walk through it, give them benefits of the doubt, or say, hey, here's the things I do like, while also truly pleading with them to make the right decision here. So to quickly recap, and of course you can just watch, the last video we made on this game, it's simply the bot thing. And this is an important thing to say. I want to re-say it. I want to say it early on in this video. Not just have I supported this game and actually supported it when many people were not into it, right? Going back to that first trailer back in May or whatever it was, May or June, when all we got was just the visuals, and, I believed in the core of it, and, I was saying that, and, all we had to go off of was that trailer, and it wasn't very positive, right? But not just that. I really do like a lot of the things that they have openly started to say about this game. I think the different modes are fine. I think even having bots for casual play, for the career mode, for all that stuff, I think is totally fine. And this is also a game, and, it's up to you. You don't have to do this. I respect you guys' decision, but I applaud this game for the pricing model and for some of the things there. So, my point that I'm trying to make here is they've done some really good stuff. This game doesn't have microtransactions. This game has certain things that I think they've talked about kind of being locked off, and you earn like progression stuff and use in-game currency to, they've gone through the whole thing on Twitter just over the last couple days, but like no microtransactions. That's phenomenal. I want to support that. I look at WB and I look at the decisions they've made and what they've done for Suicide Squad and what they might be doing to Wonder Woman and all this stuff. I want to appreciate and I want to support and I want to like a game that goes a little bit against the grain and seemingly in that way extremely consumer friendly. Even, you have to pay for it, but paying for it actually alleviates these other issues. So I'm all for it. It's not even an expensive game, right? $30, I think $40 for the deluxe edition. You get it through PlayStation Plus for the first month. Golden. Perfectly acceptable, right? As we talked about with my main flaw with this game, having bots is not inherently terrible, right? Like, in certain places, they can do this right. So, okay, what's the point of this video? I've given the evidence. You can go back and watch the videos, all that jazz. I have supported this game. I believe in it. I believe the gameplay can work. I believe that this can be an incredibly, incredibly fun game. And I, in that way, want to see this game succeed. For the love of all that is good, just add one mode. I'm not asking you to reinvent the wheel. I'm not asking you to move heaven and earth. I literally want you to keep pretty much everything that you're doing the exact same. Although I do have questions, by the way, because they talk about like the level system, which, when we did the breakdown, I talked about that as well. I'm not opposed to a leveling system, although when you have levels and then you put it into a multiplayer, I know some games do it. I feel like for a sports game, it's kind of different. When you have levels for killers and survivors in asymmetrical horror games, Texas Chainsaw, Evil Dead, you go with people that are around your level. You build up. You get more powerful. It's part of the grind. It's part of the repetition that's actually good, right? Okay, whatever. But when it comes to a sport game, you versus the other team, right? Whether you're controlling one person or, you have an entire team, to have levels on your brooms in which you can hit people harder or the speed and stuff like that, again, that's another thing that I think could kill competitive play. The bot thing already kills it, so I guess do whatever you want, but if you're going to eliminate the bot thing, right, and that's all I'm asking for, give me one mode. I just want one mode. So my message is this. It's very clear. Just give me a ranked mode where there are no bots and there are no levels. That's all I want. Eliminate. You can still have the 3v3 and have the bots occupy the rest, and you can have that in the casual. That's all I'm asking for. Keep the game exactly the same. I'm a fan of the career mode. I'm a fan of all of this stuff, right? I'm a believer. But at the same time, just expand and add one thing to that multiplayer. When you click on multiplayer, casual is 3v3. The bots take up the other 3. Make a ranked mode and allow you to make a team of up to 6 people, you and 5 others. It has to be like that, and play. We've talked about the logistics. We've talked about how that stuff works. I think actually having it in ranked mode might make it easier, might promote the idea of like the team, right? Assembling a team. It's all the stuff we talked about last time. Like, yeah, I get it if you're a solo person, right? And by the way, I got a lot of comments saying I just don't care, right? Like I don't that's okay that they're doing the bot thing. It doesn't matter for me. That's cool. That's cool. Like people are going to buy the game or not buy it based off of their own preference and based off what they want or they thought they were going to have in the game. That's the thing that hurts me, is that I thought it was going to be a certain way. It is no longer that way. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't understand the reasoning. There's no explanation. And all I want is just that one part of it. And as we've talked about in the past, I think that'll help the game. I really do, because right now, with bots and with the leveling system and all that stuff, can this game actually survive long term? And you know, what does survive mean? Well, it means have like an active player base, right? That's definitely the phrase, right? Active player base. And how many months do we expect it to last for? I can tell you, without any kind of competitive scene, which this game has 0 now, I feel like it can only last a few months, which, if they sell well at launch, you're buying it. It's not microtransaction. It's not free to play. They're not relying on people to buy things, 2 years down the line. They're getting all their money up front. Can the game succeed? It sure could. It might fulfill whatever their budgets are, right? They want the game to sell so much amount. It could. It very easily could, right? And they might not care if the game dies in 2 months. I would like some sort of blend. I would like the game to sell well and do well and keep them employed and all that jazz. And I would also like to see the game thrive and last as long as humanly possible. And I think a thing that could definitely help with that is having a competitive scene. So that's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. Give me a ranked mode and just have it 6v6. Have the people figure it out. There's no bots. You cannot have bots. Or we can even compromise, and we can do exactly what I talked about in the last video. You just do what we've all pitched you. You have 6v6. Bots will fill up the rest if there's truly nobody else out there. That's it. You find people. You have a preferred role. You have a secondary role. They try to matchmake you, in those roles. If you don't want them, you quit. I know that's annoying. I know people quitting and dropping out are annoying. Then a bot fills your spot. I just don't want it to be defaulted. I don't want the default setting to be bots or filling up the roster. Just make me one mode that's separate. And here's the thing. Might sound selfish. Might sound like, oh, well, Alex, you're demanding. Well, no, I really don't think I'm demanding all that much. I think if you see what's gone on online over the last, go check it out. Go check their Discord. Go check their Twitter to their posts that they're posting. Pretty okay stuff, by the way. Nothing too bad with what they're showing. Actually pretty good. Look at the comments. Go on Discord. Diehard community. 43,000 people in the Discord. You look at what they're saying. People are not happy. It might be just one piece of the puzzle, but it's in my opinion, it's a gigantic piece to this puzzle. It is, for me, it's the most important part of this game that might be different based off, other people, but also based off the backlash, at least what we can see. I feel like I'm not alone. I feel like a lot of people are with me that this was one of the main elements that they were hoping, wishing against certain things that wouldn't happen, right? It's like number one. I really don't think I'm alone in that. So we'll see. I mean, and the proof is in the pudding, they say, right? We'll see how this game does. I really have lost so much faith in it. I really have, and I just don't see how it succeeds long term, maybe even at launch. I see a lot of very upset people, and I see it over, honestly, a pretty dumb reason. You could say, well, yeah, Alex, it's dumb to focus on it that much. It's dumb to have it be like that. I can just always default to that. I just feel like that's where my place is, right? You could say you're too into it, you're putting too much in. I just feel it's such a simple, obvious thing. People were telling me in the last video, like, I was actually making it even more complicated. Like, explaining matchmaking and explaining how bots shouldn't be in those things feels like it should just be said once, the most simplest way, and you should leave it alone because it's so obvious that should never happen. And I had to overcomplicate it and talk about it for 10 minutes in the last video because I'm so bewildered that they didn't do it. It's unbelievable that they didn't do the most obvious thing that any game in its situation would have done. And so I feel that has struck a chord with people that will make an impact. And I also, by the way, feel like it's an easy fix. I don't know that for sure. You're handling more people in the server. You're handling more people in a match. It could be more than what they've built. But I really don't think that's true either. I really don't. So I, again, don't know the reason why they've done it this way. None of it makes sense. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.